Officer Dave, would you open my courtroom, please?
The state of Michigan 36th District Court is now in session with the Honorable Judge David S. Robinson Jr. presiding. Court is now in session. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning. All right, do I have Mr. Jaffe? I do. We are on the record. This is 22-200-867. Wook Kim MDPC versus City of Detroit. This appears to be a PIP truck case in which this is our second pretrial. It appears from our last pretrial that both parties have made our 2.3028 disclosures. Your respective appearances, please.
Philip Jaffe for the plaintiff, P25997.
Alfred Asher on behalf of defendant P82536.
All right. Well, haven't we settled this turkey, gentlemen?
Well, Your Honor, as we indicated to the court the last time, the underlying accident supposedly giving rise to the need for treatment.
It was 100 years ago.
Yeah, it was quite some time ago. And the initial disclosures, as far as the defendant is concerned, in this case, isn't sufficient alone to allow us to resolve the case. So it's our position that we'll need full discovery, written and depositions before we could reach a resolution due to the age of the accident. So that's our position.
Let's assume that to be true. What have you done by way of written discovery? Have you done anything? That's right. I didn't open it.
Yeah, the court didn't know.
Let's do this then. Let's start with written discovery because written discovery is cheaper. Find out what you can find out. And if there's going to be need for more, then we'll deal with that at that point in time. Was this same physician treating the same guy over the course of these times since the original accidents, or were there other physicians as well?
There were other physicians, I believe. They kind of came in more recent years, I think last year and this year. I'm not sure if they treated any prior to that.
All right, well, let's do this. Let's open your written discovery. Let's get started on that. It's recognizing it will not be completed by the next time we're together. And that next day, gentlemen, will be April 20, 10 o'clock. Does that work for everybody?
Just double check.
It's fine with me.
Yeah, that works for me, Your Honor.
Okay, April 20th at 10 o'clock. Now, next time I see you, I want the written discovery underway and have some idea what, if anything, you want in terms of depositions. I'm not at all sure you'll be at that point ready to tell me that because your written discovery obviously will not have been returned by that time. But let's start thinking about that so we have some idea what, if any, depositions you want to talk about, but let's do as much as we can by way of written discovery. Anything else, Joe?
And that written discovery applies to both parties?
Well, let me see. I don't know. I'm not.
I presume so. I'll answer my own stupid question. How's that?
Written discovery will be open for both parties. April 20th. We'll see you guys at 10 o'clock. Let's get to work, gentlemen. Thank you for coming.
Yeah.
We're off the record.
On our next live, the Orchestra Hall broadcast with the Detroit Symphony Music Director gathered the intermediate youth orchestra in the Bologna by Symphony of Coleridge Taylor, Brown Symphony #4. NPM's George Lee joins the orchestra for Rachmaninoff's second piano concerto. I'm Dave Hager. Join me for our next orchestra broadcast tomorrow at 10:40 a.m. on WRCJ FM and HD1 Detroit. Sunday evening at 6 o'clock on 90.9 FM, WRCJ. Film Classics will present music by the first woman that ever won an Oscar for the best original score. It's important. Diverse selections from movies like Emma, The Doing Buck Club, and The Snyder House. I'm your host, Jack Dawkins, inviting you to join us for our last show here in Women's History Month. Music by Rachel Wood. Sunday at 6 p.m. right here on 90.9 FM, WRCJ.
Your source for classical and jazz, 90.9 WRCJ-FM and HD1 Detroit.
90.9 WRCJ FM Detroit. Thank you, Dave. Great to have you back. We're really looking forward to being up with you tomorrow. We're Detroit Symphony Orchestra live broadcast with Orchestra Hall. George Lee playing Rachmaninoff's second piano concerto. Yadrvin Yamini conducts, comes forward. Samuel Coleridge Taylor's music opens up the concert. And we'll be there for you tomorrow morning, starting at 10:40. Being done your day if you're on WRCJ. Simon Standage and his band, Palladium Music of the 90s, start off today's midday music with the concerto by George Frederick Handel.
There you go. Good morning.
Good morning.
Ms. Walker, I wanted to let you know I knew you were here. I'm still
Okay.
waiting for the other side to appear. I didn't want you to think you'd been forgotten. We'll get back to you as soon as it shows up.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, put you back in the waiting room.
Okay.
Hey, Wagner. Thank you, the voice. Great music on WRCJ is here for you to enjoy anytime. Classical music has the power to bring the impossibly beautiful to reality. Please take a moment to invest in great music on the radio for the coming year. Every dollar you put into commercial-free music on WRCJ comes back to you with the sounds of inspiration you come to expect. Make your gift now at 866-909-9725 or go to WRCJFM.org. Thanks. Peter Wolf here on Midday Music on WRCJ. Rough one and off. I'll get eating for what?
Where'd she go? We are on the record calling file number 22-200022 Dixon Allen Management LLC versus Jasmine Walker. We were last together on this file on February 23rd. At that time, parties in the court agreed to today, May 23rd at 10 o'clock for our next pretrial. It's after 10:30. Plaintiff has failed to appear. The defendant was here earlier but has left. In any event, plaintiff having failed to appear, no good cause of that failure having been shown, this case is dismissed without prejudice. We are off the record. The next file we're going to call is 22-192621, City of Farmington Hills versus Angelise Thorns. By notice dated March 17, 2023, and sent to the parties on that date. This matter set for hearing today at 10 o'clock on the plaintiff's motion for summary disposition. The court has in its possession plaintiff's motion for summary disposition, plaintiff's supplement to the plaintiff's motion for summary disposition, as well as the defendant's response to the plaintiff's motion for summary disposition. This motion for summary disposition was calendared for 10 o'clock. Neither party having appeared, the court will dispense with oral argument and make a decision on the briefs. Plaintiff's move for summary disposition under MCR 2.116 C9 and 10. The court is going to consider the motion under C10, no general issue of material fact. I'm gonna come back to this file in just a moment. Ms. Walker from the previous case has come back to the courtroom. Ms. Walker, good morning. The plaintiff has failed to appear. Your case will be dismissed without prejudice. He may restart it, but as for now, the case is dead. I'll send out an order today. Have a great day. All right, we are back on the record and on file number 22-192621, City of Farmington Hills, a body corporate versus Angelise Thorns. This is the date and time set for a motion for summary disposition. The court is going to decide the motion without oral argument since neither party has appeared today for oral argument. The court is going to grant the plaintiff's motion for summary disposition under MCR 2.116 C10, finding there to be no genuine issue of material fact. In the motion for C10, the court is required to be liberal in finding the existence of a genuine issue of material facts. Based upon the pleadings here, this is a relatively factually simple case. Both parties agree that the plaintiff gave ambulance service to the defendant. There's no dispute about that. Based upon the affidavit of Jason Ozuki, who was the deputy fire chief of the Farmington Department, the charge for that was $754. There is no dispute from that from the defendant. There is no dispute that the bill has not been paid. The defense instead is that there could have been insurance. Quoting from the defendant's brief at page 5, if plaintiff had billed defendant's Blue Cross Blue Shield health insurance in a timely manner, then this bill would likely have been covered. End of quote. Court finds that the plaintiff is entitled to summary disposition, there being no general issue of material fact. Number one, services were rendered. Number two, rendered to the defendant. Number three, the value of the services and that the services remain unpaid. The fact that there may or may not have been insurance is not relevant in the sense under the third party payer rule. There may very well be an action from Ms. Thornton over against whoever she believes should have paid for this insurance. Maybe she thinks it's Blue Cross Blue Shield, maybe she thinks it's Medicaid. But in any event, the service having been rendered, the amount being undisputed, the fact that the service has not been paid being undisputed, summary disposition is granted in favor of the plaintiff. Court adopts the reasoning of the plaintiff in the plaintiff's brief and supplemental pleadings. We are off the record. Oh my God, this is so much. We are back on the record on 22192-621, City of Farmington Hills versus Angeles Thorns. The court must strike its entire soliloquy on this and decision. It appears that this matter is not set for hearing today, but it's set for hearing tomorrow, March 24th at 10 o'clock. So we're going to strike everything we said on the record concerning this file. Now we're off the record again.
Well, yeah, Earl Wild in command of the Rachmaninoff variations of the theme by Paganini. And speaking of Paganini, we'll have the second piano concerto tomorrow live on WRCJ with the Detroit Symphony Orchestra live from Orchestra Hall. George Lee is our piano soloist on the first half of the program, right after the concert opener, the Ballade by Samuel Coleridge Taylor. And then on the second half of the broadcast, it's Brahms' Fourth Symphony. And I'm going to have Gunnar Beanie meeting to talk about all the music and our inhibition to it. So I hope you can be there for the Detroit Symphony Orchestra live, 10:40 a.m. tomorrow with Lady Dave Wagner from WRCJ. The Aladdin Suite, music by Carl Nielsen. Here's the Swedish Radio Symphony.
Mr. Zelinski,
Good morning, Your Honor.
how are you today?
Good.
What brings you here today?
Hearing, it's 020.
American Lending versus and Finance?
Yeah,
Okay, I got you checked in.
thanks.
All right, put you back in the waiting room.
Okay.
Dominica Campbell, LVNV funding. Filing seven. Morning, Council.
Morning, Your Honor.
You've got LVNV funding versus Dominica Campbell.
Correct.
Yes.
As soon as she comes in, we can get started. Turn your camera on, Ms. Campbell. We can get started on this thing.
Okay, how to turn them on? Turn camera on. Turn camera on. Does that start video?
Yeah, start video. That's what you're looking for. Yeah, there you go.
Oh, okay.
We are on the record. This is case 22-195-507. LVNV funding versus Dominica Campbell. Date and time for a motion to compel arbitration. Could I have your appearances?
Good morning, Your Honor. It's Craig Fay, P 81401 on behalf of plaintiff.
And what is your name, ma'am?
Dominica Campbell.
All right, your motion. Please proceed, ma'am.
You said me?
Yes, it's your motion, ma'am. You're the moving party. Please proceed with your motion.
My arbitration motion?
Yes, ma'am. That's why we're here.
Okay, I filed for arbitration, for this case to be moved to arbitration.
Mr. Fay, what's happening here?
Sure. So we have no objection to having this matter go to arbitration. The only thing that we would just ask is that if Ms. Campbell would just, if she would file the demand within, I don't know if the court would give a specific time, maybe 90 days. But we have no issue with dismissing it pending the filing for arbitration.
Well, I'm looking at Ms. Campbell's motion, and the contract at paragraph 7 provides that the party who wants to arbitrate must notify the other party in writing. This notice can be given after the beginning of a lawsuit or in papers filed in that lawsuit. The party seeking arbitration must select either the American Arbitration Association or JAMS, and then file the demand for arbitration. So she's made a demand for arbitration under the contract, which appears to be something that is provided for even after litigation has begun. The court isn't required, as you know, to be liberal in construing arbitration agreements. The arbitration agreement here is unambiguous. The motion to compel arbitration is granted. The case will be dismissed without prejudice in the district court for the reason that the district court lacks subject matter jurisdiction because of the arbitration agreement. Ms. Campbell, you must proceed immediately to file your demand for arbitration as provided in the pleadings that you submitted to the court with either JAMS or the American Arbitration Association. Thank you both for coming in. We are off the record.
Thank you, Your Honor.
It states in the law that the party that's bringing me to court has to file the arbitration.
Ma'am, that's not what it says. Let's read it again. The party seeking arbitration must select either the American Arbitration Association or JAMS. That's you, ma'am. You're the party seeking arbitration. Thank you both for coming in. We're off the record.
Thank you.
I totally disagree.
Well, ma'am, you need to file for arbitration. Otherwise, we'll be back here and you will be deemed to have waived arbitration. So I would, if I were you, I would file that demand as required by the contract that you cited, ma'am. Thank you. Have a good day, counsel.
Thank you, Your Honor.
What is my dismissal? Morning, counsel. What brings you here today?
Can't hear you, Your Honor.
What brings you here today, counsel?
Yes, I'm here for Gateway Financial Solutions. I believe there's
Gateway Financial Solutions?
Yes.
That's interesting because they're not on my docket today.
All right. Well, I got an email.
What's your case number?
Yeah, 1 second. It is 22
22
19
19
24
24
09.
09. That one is not on my docket today. See if I can find it on my docket. 249. American again?
It is Gateway Financial Solutions versus Tiffany Hall. It was initially dismissed, and then I was under the impression that it had been reinstated, but that we hadn't gotten a notice. One of our assistants had talked to a clerk at 36, so it's possible that something got lost in translation there.
It's certainly not on my docket at this point in time. Let me is it on the docket for today?
I can look. Let me look up the 36.
Hang on, I got my boss calling.
No problem.
All right, counsel. The court indicates, my clerk indicates that I granted the motion to reinstate the case.
Okay.
Sent out an order to that effect. And then instead of being sent back to me to give a date, for whatever reason, the file was sent down to the file room. So what I have to do is I have the file retrieved and I'll send out a new date today.
That makes sense because we didn't get a notice. It just looks like it was from Scott. Scott appeared, and it's from his notes that there was going to be a pretrial. So that's
Okay.
more than okay. So I'll wait for the notice. Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate you coming in.
No problem.
Morning, counsel.
Morning, Your Honor.
I don't have your opponent as of yet. Have you guys settled the case? Is that what's going on?
We have a tentative settlement pending city council.
Pending
approval.
city council? Okay, let's call the case, put it on the record and get you on your way.
Okay.
We are on the record calling file number 22201-135. Innova Diagnostics LLC versus City of Detroit. This is the first pretrial for this PIP case. Could I have your appearance?
Good morning, Your Honor. Mark Gozer for the plaintiff, Innova Diagnostics.
Bar number.
P79070.
Counsel, you were telling me that the case has been resolved tentatively.
Yes, we mediated with Mr. Wolcott earlier, or Roger Wolcott earlier this week. It has been resolved pending city council approval.
Okay. Then what I'll do is I'll dismiss the matter without prejudice, noting that the case has been settled pending city council approval. Looking forward to your closing documents.
Sounds good. Thank you, Your Honor.
Appreciate you coming in. Be safe.
You too. Thank you.
Thank you. We're off the record. We are on the record calling file number 22-193020, American Lending and Finance LLC versus Delon Martel McDaniel. This matter is scheduled by a notice dated February 24th, 2023 at 11 o'clock today for plaintiff's motion to reinstate the case and enter default judgment. It is now after 8:15. Could I have your appearance?
Good morning, Your Honor. Robert Zielinski on behalf of plaintiff P69250.
Mr. Zielinski, did you get any pleadings from Mr. McDaniel in regard to your motion?
No, I did not receive anything or hear from him.
He has failed to appear. Sir, please proceed.
Sure, this is plaintiff's motion to reinstate the case and enter a default judgment. Judge, it looks like documents were crossed on the same day. Defendant was personally served in this matter. The court received our proposed default judgment, our initial one, on January 20th, and it was also dismissed on January 20th. So he having been personally served in this matter, I filed this motion under MCR 2.102F, seeking the court to reinstate the case and enter the default judgment.
I'm going to grant your motion in part and deny it in part. I'm going to grant your motion to reinstate the case. However, it appears that on January December 15th, the court issued its notice of intent to dismiss. And then on January 20th, the dismissal was entered for lack of progress, and that's also the date that you filed your proof of service upon the defendant, Mr. McDaniel. However, I'm still not in a position to enter a default in this matter because you did not file a SCAR status report for Mr. McDaniel. You've already got a judgment entered against co-defendant Chapman. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to reinstate your case, send in your default and your SCAR status report, and we'll get moving on your file.
So you're talking about the default, the part of the process, the initial default to send.
Yeah.
Okay,
And then that, along with that, you need the SCAR status report.
right, the military, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Let's be safe.
You too, bye.
Have a great day. We're off the record. That's going to conclude the call this morning.